Hello guys and welcome back to a new episode of Billionaire Takeover. And today we have seasons 5 and 6, and if you've liked this video, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, because it helps me out one away from 50 subs. So go ahead, smash the buttons, and let's get started. And here we are, start of the 5th season, and still national reputation, still rich. Basic youth facilities, below average training facilities as per usual. Estimated value of 157 million right now, and we've got quite some things. Let's start with the transfer business, and as you can see, so far 38.5 million spent, 4.8 million came in, and let's get them on the way. We start off with DJ Ningdong, came in first. He's a central midfielder, 29 years old. Then we've got Chaik Niase, came over from Lille on a free. 23 years old, defensive midfielder, can play as a central midfielder and possibly a defensive central defender. Then we've got Alexander Dijigou, came over from Huddersfield for 4.4 million. 28-year-old central defender. Then we've got Antonio Beraka from Watford, 6.25 million they paid for him. 28-year-old defender on the left. Then the first big signing, or the biggest signing so far, Han Noah Masengo from Bristol City. They paid 13 million for him. A 22-year-old French player. He started out at Monaco, as you can see down here. He's a defensive midfielder and he can also play as a central midfielder. Then we've got two free transfers. Junior Simba can play on the left midfield. And we've got Marlos, who is a 35-year-old attacking midfielder on the right. Then another player from Watford, Pervis Estupian. Not sure if I pronounced that right, but that's what we'll go with. He can play basically all over the left side. He can play as a left defender, attacking defender, left midfielder, attacking midfielder. Pretty good. Came over for 4.3 million. Also, he's a 25-year-old. And then we've got Sergei Petrov on a free transfer. Came over from Krasnodar. 32-year-old, currently valued at 2.2 million, and he can play as a defender on the right. And then we've got Maxence Prévost for 3.2 million. So now we've got a new goalkeeper as well. He's currently valued at 3.1 million, 26 years old. And last but not least, Alejandro Pozo came over from Sevilla for 4.4 million. 24-year-old, currently valued at 6.5 million. He can play a lot of positions. I think they will use him most in that attacking midfielder position on the right, but he can also drop a few lines down and play as a defender, even though his tackling is shit. But yeah, also out went first UN Senaro, went to Cannes, got him for 160k, and they let him go on a free, so no money was made there. Francesco Antonucci, 24-year-old attacking midfielder, got him for 425k and went for a free to Standard Ligue. And last but not least, Onel Hernandez went to Slavia Prague for 4.8 million. And they got him for 6.25, so they made a big loss on that one. That's a shame. Loss could be down a little bit because they've got the potential to go on to 6 million, but yeah, we'll see. This year competing, of course, in Ligue 1 and the French Cup, currently lying 8th after 3 games. Win 1, 1-1, drew 2, goal difference of 2, pretty good. So let's get right into the end of the season and see how they have done. And here we are. Already see some changes here. Got a new hot prospect. Yendi Louis Jean, 18-year-old, can play as a fullback on the left and right, which is good. See some new faces down here. Nothing happened to the youth facilities or the training facilities. Still rich, still national reputation. Estimated value is down to 108 million. Probably going to be short on money sometime, but after the next season they will get another 500 million, which is good for them. So let's see how they've done. They've ended 9th in the Ligue 1. See here on 53 points, goal difference of -8. Won 16 games, pretty impressive. Drew 5 against Nîmes, Olympique Marseille, Etienne, Rennes and Amiens, and they lost 17, including Saint-Étienne, Paris Saint-Germain, Olympique Lyon, Montpellier, Monaco, Nice, Rennes, Lorient. Not too good, but still, I'm pretty proud of them, the way they've done. Let's have a look at the schedule. Started off okayish, drew against Amiens, Rennes, won against Toulouse. Then got lost against Reims 2-0. Lost against Olympique Marseille 2-0 as well. Lost 1-0 against Nice. Beat Angers. Then October came around and they lost against Montpellier, Monaco, Olympique Lyon, who else? Lorient. Then November came knocking, lost again, so they lost 5 games in a row. Got beaten 4-0 by Paris Saint-Germain, which is understandable. And then they managed to turn it around for 4 games. They won against Strasbourg, Bordeaux, Nantes and Havre. Lost it out against not Olympique. They lost out against Lille. Then they went on and beat Nîmes, drew with Saint-Étienne, won against Stade Lavrille in the French 9th round, beat Rennes, were knocked out in the French Cup 10th round on extra time. That's a shame. Then they came back and beat Toulouse. They lost against Reims again, drew with Marseille, lost against Nice, won against Angers, lost against Montpellier, lost against Monaco, lost against Olympique Lyon, got beaten by Lorient, got beaten by PSG, and then they won against Strasbourg, in which Mendoza apparently was also sent off. They managed to beat Bordeaux, managed to beat Nantes. Havre was beaten as well. Same goes for Lille this time around. And then they drew 1-1 against Nîmes. Lost out against Saint-Étienne. And beat on the last day Amiens 2-0. But let's have a look at the transfer history. Starting with the outs. If we sort it out, we left at Abel Onel Hernandez, who went to Slavia Prague. Then they loaned out Bebe to Guimaras, loaned out Meras to Dijon, and loaned out Epline against Vaf. This was Sochaux. And they sold Sergei Petrov to Montpellier for almost $1 million. So they did make money on him, $1 million, which is good because got him on a free this year or last year. But well, let's have a look at the ins then again. Oh yeah, there he is, Sergei Petrov. So in the same season, they made $1 million on that one player. And on the ins, we left with Pozo, so we're going up now to Christophe Marian from Dijon. Came in for 1.2 million, a 19-year-old left back. They loaned Jonathan Mendoza, 21 years old, a Argentinian player valued at almost 50 million. Plays on the right defend, is a probably a wing back or something like that. Then they went shopping at Watford again, got in Georgos, a Greek defender on the left, 28 years old. They got Fran Beltran from Vigo for 9 million, 25-year-old midfielder, pretty decent. They got in Victor Janssen in a surprise move for me, 23.5 million for him, valued at 12.75. He went all over. After Tottenham sold him, he went to FC Monterrey, of course, where he played 33 games, scored 18 goals. Southampton got him then, went to Bristol. Now he is here at Red Star. After Janssen came in, Poco came in from Gaziantep. I think that is a Turkish league. Poco came in for 3.2 million. He's currently valued at 2.2. He's 31 years old and can play as a central midfielder. I don't know why they're buying so many of them. Brandon Sappi came in for 19.5. 22-year-old defender, central defender. I think that's a pretty good move, weakening the competition. And then they brought in Ryan Thomas for 18.75 million from Bordeaux, 29 years old. Another midfielder valued at 14 million. And that concludes their transfers for this season. They brought in only 5.75 million in transfer revenue, and they spent 128 million, with most of that on transfer deadline days. So you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players got in on transfer deadline day in August, and then another 3 came in on transfer deadline day in January. So nothing really changing yet facility wise. Everything's still the same. Have a look at their managers. Still going with Vincent Bordeaux. And no, I haven't changed anything. He's not unsackable, so they can bring in other managers, but apparently they are going for him. So this was season number 5. Let's get started with season number 6. And here we are again on transfer deadline day of season, on the start of season number 6. Can already see some changes. Pozo's still there, but that was already. Hood is here, Wesley Hood and Nardi. So they've probably done some transfer business. They're currently rated at 99 million. Top players, captain still Said Adab. Still got Pierre Wachter in as the key player, and Yandel Louison is now their hottest prospect. Let's start with the transfer history and with the outs. First who went out was Umed Meras, which is a surprise. I think, because he's currently. Oh no, they loaned him out last season, and Dijon bought him then for 2.3 million, so they made a sweet 300 grand on him. Sacha Bowie went on a free to Auxerre after they got him for 1.5, so that's a 1.5 million loss. Vincent Coziello went to Eze Gebirge, went on a free as well, so they made a 1.7 million loss on him. And then Pervis Estupian went to Guillon in Spain for 1 million. After the previous, in that same season, they bought him for 4.3, so they made a 3.3 million loss. That's not how you're gonna make money, guys. Roland George was sold to Roma's under 18. He came from the academy, so that's a sweet 375 grand profit. Antonio Beccara went to Galatasaray for 1.8 million after he came in as well 2 seasons before for 6.25. They're losing so much money on players. I don't know how they do it. And last went out was Saturnin Aljebe. Went to Rhein for 125 grand and he came over for 325. 200 grand loss on that. And so far, they've bought in for 21 million. I don't know how they get along with the fair play rules, but yeah. First came in was Wesley Hood from Southampton, a Dutch central defender, 30 years old right now. And he looks pretty decent, I think. Then in came as well Fortunato Tavarne, a regen. Started out at Lille, went to Monaco, and then he came to us. Playing now for Red Star, attacking midfielder on the right, 18 years old, valued at 1.5 million, and he came in for 2.3. Also, Hood came in for 15.75 million. Then Alircar Silva came in from Watford on a loan, 25-year-old defender on the left. Can we have a look at his contract? There are no options, so he will go back. And last but not least came in Paul Nardi from Rhein for 1.4, another goalkeeper, 30 years old, currently valued at 1.9. So that's it for the transfers right now. Profile, let's have a look. They compete again in the French Cup and Ligue 1 because they weren't up to, well, they didn't qualify just as easy as that. You need to hit that 5th spot for them to get into Europe. So they probably have to do some more transfer business, which I'm sure they will do. But of course, at the end of this season, they will get their second 500 million. So let's get to the end of this season, and here we go again. Final day, or at least it's the final day of season number 6. Captain is still Said Arab. Key player still Pierre Wachter. Nothing really changed about that. Hottest prospect still Yendil Louis-Jean. But their value went up from like 90 or 66 million to 227 million. So that's impressive. Training facilities and youth facilities still basic. They didn't change anything in the stadium. So let's get started first with their transfer business. And they didn't bring in a lot of other players, because we left, of course, with Paul Nardi. And then they brought in on loan Rafael Santos Borre, a striker, 29 years old, a German striker, as it seems. Nothing in that loan option. Came over from Fulham, so he's going back there. And then in came Lilian Duchesne from AC Grèce on a free transfer. Youth player, 20 years old, currently valued at 60 grand, and he's a attacking midfielder on the left. And last but not least came in Dalbert from Espanyol on loan. Already 31 years old right now, currently valued at 6.25, and I don't think they've got another clause. Loan option after 15 matches. They have to pay 4.34 million, but he only played 12, so that's not going to happen. I got a feeling there's a little bit more outs. And we can see here that after we left with Algebe, Matisse Elbin left to Havre for 2.1 million. coming in at 5.5 from Reims. They've got another more than 3 million loss on him. Junior Simba went to Bruges Voet on a free, so that's okay because they got him on a free. Didn't really play for the first team. Fofana got loaned out to Indonesia in the second part of the season, and Youssef Ali went to Rougen on a free, which doesn't really matter because he was from the youth academy anyways, or at least I like to think so. Not a lot of transfers, but that's probably because of them not having that much money. You can see here last season they spent 128 million, and now they've cut that down by 107 million because now they only spent 21 million. Let's have a look at how they've done this year. Finished 14th in the league, not that good. And they started the season terrible by having 3 losses in a row against Lille, Lorient and Nice. They beat Auxerre and then they went on a drawing with Olympique Lyon, Bordeaux, Montpellier, Guingamp, Toulouse. And after that they lost against Reims, drew with Reims, then lost to PSG 6-0. Damn, man. You really got shown every corner in the room there. Then they lost out against Monaco, Angers. Surprisingly won against Etienne, won against Armien, lost against Nantes, against Strasbourg, got beaten by Olympique Marseille, and then in the 9th round they beat Rayon L'Étape. Lost out against Lorient in the league. Again, beat Reims 3-2 in the 10th round, pretty good. Lost out against Nice in the league, and then in the 11th round of the French Cup they lost out against Nîmes 2-1 in extra time. That's a shame. Turning it around by beating Auxerre, lost against Marseille, against Bordeaux, drew with Montpellier, lost against Guingamp, lost against Toulouse, beat Reims this time, drew with Reims, lost against PSG 4-0, lost against Monaco 1-0, beat Angers, drew with Etienne, won against Armien, drew with Nantes, beat Strasbourg again, beat Olympique Marseille this time, and then on the last day they lost out against they lost out against Lille. So yeah, they did worse than last year, position wise. Also points wise, they lost 12 points this season, which is a lot. So next year they're really gonna have to do some business, but of course they are getting their 500 million, so it's gonna be a surprise how they will do. But we'll end it here. That's it for now for this episode of Billionaire Takeover. Hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you in the next one.